28th, 2016 Laverne Planning Commission. First item of business, we do have a quorum. Everyone take a look at their meeting minutes from the May 31st, 2016 minutes or meeting. Have a motion to approve or disapprove the minutes as submitted. Have a motion to approve.
Second.
I have a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
And it's passed. Our first item of business under other business is a motion to nominate a vice chairman for a one-year term.
I make a motion to nominate James Anderson.
Second it.
I have a motion to nominate James Anderson and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Mr. Anderson will be our acting vice chairman. Our next item of business, number one, under old business, site plan for Tennessee Valley Ice, requested by St. John Engineering, proposed 6,880 square foot distribution facility on 0.98 acres, property located at 321 Mason Road, tax map 017, parcel 17, I-2 Heavy Industrial Zoning District, property owned by Tandem Investments LLC. Ms. Costanza.
Mr. Chairman, we did not receive a revised site plan for the workshop, and I did receive a deferral request about 30 minutes ago in writing. So they are having an issue with, they're working with the neighboring property owner to establish potentially some easements and some other issues.
And this is their second or third deferral.
I think this is their second.
Very good. Our next item of business, final plat, Matanic property requested by JMC Surveying and Linda Matanic, proposed two-lot subdivision on 0.54 acres, property located at 125 Sunset Drive, tax map 018A, Group A, Parcel 3, R2 Medium Density Residential Zoning District, property owned by Robert and Linda Matanic. Ms. Costanza.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This also will be deferred. They have to go before the Board of Zoning Appeals for 2 variances, not 1 as previously thought, and we did get their revised plans in really, really late, so.
Our next item of business, number 3, rezoning of property requested by Michael Testimony, 2.28 acres, property located at 5227 Murfreesboro Road, tax map 015M, Group F, Parcel 7, current zoning C1, government use commercial, property zoning C, requested zoning C2, highway service commercial, property owned by Laverne Plaza LLC. Ms. Costanza.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. At the workshop, it was requested that they provide a site plan to show that they have adequate parking and circulation and driveway widths, and they only had a week to get that done, so there was no way they could get that accomplished in time, so they've asked to be deferred till July as well.
Thank you very much. Our first item under new business, recommendation to the Board of Mayor and Aldermen, request for subdivision acceptance for Phase 12 of McFarlin Pointe, requested by William Shipp, 34 lots on 30.6 acres, property located along Ben Hill Boulevard, Godfrey Court, and Kilton Court, Plat Book 32, page 4, R1 Low Density Residential Zoning District, property owned by MFD1. Ms. Costanza.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Unfortunately, the punch list was not finished off. I believe there's one last item that needs to be finished and inspected. We did receive the other 2 items, but we are still waiting on the punch list, so this will have to be deferred till next month as well.
Very good. Our next item, site plan, Waffle House rebuild, requested by Huddleston Steel, proposed 1,875 square foot restaurant on 0.49 acres, property located at 108 Enterprise Boulevard, tax map 17, Group A, Parcel 5, C2 Highway Service Commercial Zoning District, property owned by Ezel LLC. Ms. Costanza.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is the rebuild of the Waffle House, which has now been demolished. We had a few things that were missing at the workshop, such as the color elevations, the materials breakdown, the drainage calculations, and we have received all of those items, so we have no technical items to be addressed tonight.
No technical items. Any questions or comments from the board? Entertain a motion to approve or disapprove.
All affected items being addressed, I make a motion to approve.
A motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it. Passes. Our next item of business, preliminary plat, re-subdivision of Block 4, Nakarada Industrial Park, requested by Dale and Associates, 3 proposed lots and utility extensions on 30.07 acres, property located at 511 New Paul Road, tax map 017, parcel 40, I-2 Heavy Industrial Zoning District, property owned by Patriot LLC. Mr. Stanton.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We had a handful of technical items at the workshop, but they have all been addressed as of this evening.
Any questions or comments from the board? Entertain a motion.
Again, with all affected items being addressed, I make a motion to approve.
Motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? It passes. Our next item of business, rezoning of property requested by Danny Womble and Edmond Shriebman, 9.19 acres, property located along Sand Hill Road, tax map 014, parcel 40, current zoning R2 medium density residential, proposed zoning PDR planned density residential with R2 medium density residential and C3 neighborhood service commercial, property owned by Adnan Schroeder. Mr. Stanton.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. If you recall at the workshop, there were no technical items to address. Again, this is the proposed rezoning of the property from, it is currently R2, and they're wanting to add C3 to the 2 front parcels right here for some neighborhood service commercial. So they're asking for PDR with C3 and the R2. As far as the R2 goes, they're proposing 31 single-family lots. And again, there's the 2 C3 zone lots fronting Sand Hill. I've received 1 phone call, and that was it for the period of 3 weeks.
Very good. Any questions or comments from the board? Entertain a motion to approve or disapprove.
Make a motion we approve the subdivision.
We have a motion to approve it as submitted. Do I have a second?
Second.
A second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? It passes. Our next item, rezoning of property requested by Matt Taylor and Charlie B. Mitchell, 4.53 total acres in 3 tracts, property located along Waldron Road, tax map 017, part of parcel 5.01, and tax map 017, part of parcel 2.12, current zoning, C2 highway service commercial, proposed zoning, I2 heavy industrial, property owned by Charlie B. Mitchell. Mr. Stanton.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Again, like the previous item, we had no technical items to address as part of this rezoning. They did supply all the requisite materials. This is the 3 tracts that amount to 4.53 acres along Waldron Road that were rezoned to commercial a number of years ago. Mr. Mitchell has a current proposed buyer, Power Equipment, which is located on Bridgestone right now. They've exceeded their space and would like to take this space from Mr. Mitchell. And again, this area is a mix of industrial and commercial. They're just wanting to rezone these front pieces so that they can use the entire parcel for their industrial use.
Very good. Any questions or comments from the board?
Yes, Kristen, can you refresh my memory? Is that in the overlay?
It is. I have a
Okay.
right there. So these are the pieces right there that were C2. That's why they look brownish with the overlay. And then this, of course, is all I2. This is the only I2 part that's in the overlay, and then this is out of the overlay. So anything that is built, within that area would have to adhere to the overlay regulations.
Now, if you would, correct me if I'm wrong, this should be a recommendation. Do we need to go back to number 7 and revote? Yes. So we will be taking a motion to make a favorable or unfavorable recommendation to the Board of Mayor and Aldermen.
Correct.
So we want to make a favorable recommendation?
Are we doing this item or the one before it?
We're doing number 8. We'll go back to number 7.
Okay, it's number 8, yeah, that's fine. Make a favorable recommendation, send on the mayor and alderman.
Brilliant. I have a favorable recommendation for the Mayor and Aldermen. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it. We'll be sending a favorable recommendation to the Mayor and Aldermen. We're going to go back to number 7 and take a motion to send a favorable or unfavorable recommendation and strike our last motion from this item.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to withdraw my motion and resubmit a favorable recommendation to the Board of Mayor and Aldermen for item 7.
Thank you very much. We have a motion to make a favorable recommendation to the Board of Mayor and Aldermen. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? We'll be sending a favorable recommendation for item number 7 to the Board of Mayor and Aldermen. Thank you very much, everybody. My mistake. Our next item of business, final plat, Centrepointe re-subdivision of Lot 14 and utility extension, requested by Little John Engineering, 3 proposed lots on 108.16 acres, property located along Centrepointe Drive, tax map 017, parcel 37.04, and tax map 029, parcel 1.08, I-2 Heavy Industrial Zoning District, property owned by CPDC Holdings. Ms. Costanza.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Unfortunately, the Centrepointe items have all been requested to be deferred due to the lack of the agreement between the developer and the Army Corps of Engineers. So
We're just going to defer them.
they're asking for a deferral. They expect that the agreement should be ready in mid-July. So,
And are we still running with the policy of giving them a little bit extra time on the deferrals?
we actually had them withdraw previously because they had run out of, they weren't making any progress. So, I believe this will just be the second,
This will
actually,
be the first time.
this is the first this time around,
This will be
so,
the first time, the
yeah.
second time around.
Very good. So we're going to skip to number 13, bonds and letters of credit.
Mr. Chairman, everyone should have a bond list in front of them. Everything is up to date. Centrepointe Phase 2, I'll be discussing with the developer to get that extended. Other than that, everything is current.
Very good. Any other questions or comments from the board? Meeting is adjourned.